Part 2. My beginning. I was born in the cradle of darkness, when the earth was raw and wild. I remember no huts of stone nor ploughed fields. The world was untamed, a labyrinth of towering forests and steaming swamps. The sky often howled with storms, and the beasts ruled the land. We were small tribes of wanderers clinging to survival by wit and instinct. I do not know what year I was born, for there was no calendar, no counting of seasons. But I remember the night of my first breath, the sky fractured by lightning, as if the heavens themselves split open to welcome me. My mother said it was an omen, though her voice trembled with fear, not joy. I was a frail thing, with black eyes that never cried, and from the moment I opened them, the elders whispered of curses. The village shunned me. Children would dart away when I passed, and the hunters looked at me with unease. It was the isolation that shaped me. I spent my childhood wandering the edges of the great forest, watching the birds, the snakes, and the shifting shadows. It was there, among the ancient trees, that I first felt it. I must have been no older than 10 summers when I discovered my power. A wounded fox limped into my path, its fur matted with blood, its eyes locked onto mine, desperate pleading. My chest tightened, and I knelt beside it, feeling an instinct far older than words. I placed my trembling hands on its flank. Heat surged from my palms, a fire that did not burn. The fox yelped, its body convulsing, and then it stood, whole unharmed. That night, I returned to the village with the fox at my heels, but instead of awe, there was terror. "She consorts with spirits," they cried. "She wields the unnatural." My mother wept, pleading with them to spare me, but the decision was made. At dawn, I was cast out, exiled to the wilderness. And so, I became the Witch of the Wilds. The wilds became my home, vast and unforgiving. They say exile is a death sentence, but to me, it was a rebirth. At first, I wandered aimlessly, my heart heavy with the sting of rejection. The dense forest swallowed me whole. Its shadows seemed to stretch endlessly, and the cries of unseen creatures echoed through the still air. Hunger gnawed at my belly. Cold crept through my bones, and fear followed me like a shadow. Yet, it was in this crucible of isolation that I began to truly discover myself. My powers grew stronger, more unruly. I found that I could coax fire from damp wood with a mere whisper or summon water to quench my thirst from the stubborn earth. I could feel the heartbeat of the forest, its rhythm aligning with my own. The beasts, so fearsome to my people, became companions. They sensed the power in me and saw me not as prey, but as one of their own. A lone wolf became my first ally, its yellow eyes glowing like embers in the night. Together, we roamed the wilderness, 2 outcasts bound by silent understanding. It was during one of my wanderings that I stumbled upon a stone circle, ancient and weathered. The air around it thrummed with energy, and I knew, instinctively, that it was a place of power. Kneeling in its center, I closed my eyes and let the energy flow through me. Visions came, vivid and startling, a future of towering cities and endless fields, of men who would bend the earth to their will. But there was fire too, and darkness, a warning perhaps of what was to come. Years passed, or perhaps only seasons. It is hard to measure time without walls to mark it. Tales of me began to spread among the scattered tribes. They called me the Witch of the Wilds, a spirit in human form. Some came to seek my aid, brave or desperate enough to venture into my domain. They brought offerings, food, trinkets, even their prayers. And in return, I healed their wounds, protected their herds, or whispered secrets only the forest would know. Others came with fire and hate, seeking to end what they did not understand. They never left. Now I watch from the shadows as mankind begins its slow crawl towards civilization. They build, they conquer, they destroy, but the earth remembers. It speaks to me in whispers, in dreams, warning of storms yet to come. I am no longer the frightened girl cast from her village. I am the keeper of the old ways, the bridge between man and nature. I am the last witch of a dying age, and that was my beginning. Until next time, my lovelies, I bid you a good night and merry part. Please remember to like and subscribe to continue our journey through the ages. Goodbye for now, my sweets.